Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Today I'm giving you guys another Xenoverse 2 video. I thought I'd do something a little fun today. Dino, Rhyme Style did a video on this a few days ago with C Reacts talking about the character roster for Xenoverse 2. He made note that he found 85 character slots or more because at Tokyo Game Show they didn't really we don't know if they showed off all the character slots or not. A lot of them were locked off, obviously, but we don't know if they scrolled down the whole list of slots. So it could be more than 85 or 84, so keep that in mind. But Xenoverse wanted 59 characters, and if you really want to count custom characters, which I'm not right now, that's 60. 59 including all the DLC. Xenoverse 2 will include all the characters from the first game. That includes the DLC characters. And if this has 84, that leaves another 25 extra characters that we are getting in this game. So 25 new characters around that ballpark, and we know that we have about 13 and 14 if you count Goku Black confirmed for the game. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going to be in the game in terms of these mysterious 11-ish or so characters. I'm going to spitball a few more out there, of course, because we don't know how many characters are exactly in the game, but it is pretty close to 85, if not 85. And these character roster images from the Tokyo Game Show are in fact from Dino's video, because he's already got them all highlighted nice and neat for me. And before we get started, I'll leave a link to Dino's video, of course, down below. You guys should definitely check that out and get his opinion on this as well. But other than that, let's get right into this. In terms of characters we already know for a fact are going to be in the game that are new, we have Turles, Zarbon, Dodoria, Lord Slug, Future Gohan, Super Gogeta, Super Janemba, Cooler, Final Form Cooler, Meta Cooler, yep, he's taking up 3 slots probably, Majin Vegeta, Imperfect Cell, and Android 16. That is the absolute confirmed list of, I guess you could say, separate character slots. How about that? Then I guess here's what I think. Number one, I'm not sure whether or not to put Timebreaker Bardock on here as a separate character or a variation. I honestly have no idea what they're doing with that. I think that he did look like he did have a lot of the same combos as regular Bardock, but Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan God Goku, and the same for Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, they all have the same combos as their regular forms, but they're separate characters too. So it's very interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm going to put him down as a separate character because I think it's big enough of a change to make him a separate character, even though we have a character like the Great Saiyan Man who's also a variation on Gohan. So, I guess it could be up in the air for that. But for me, I do have at number 1 Zarbon transformed. I do think it'll be a separate character in the game. Maybe he won't even transform. Hell, he could not be there, but I'm expecting it. I really am expecting it. Next up, I have Pikkon, and the reason being really is because they're doing Super Gogeta and Super Janemba. Both of those characters, I feel like you can't leave out Pikkon if they're going to cover that story arc in the game. That just seems like something they have to have. They have the Hell map, so I feel like they just have to cover it. And maybe he's not in the game, but I really would expect him to be, for sure. After that, this one's really more of me hoping. I'm hoping for Baby Vegeta, or, Final Form Baby Vegeta. We only need one form of him. We don't need all of his forms that take up so many slots. But I'm hoping for it. I know his clothes are in the game for Final Form Baby Vegeta. That doesn't mean he's going to be in the game, of course. But I'm hoping that they do. I'm curious if they do cover any GT stuff in the story at all. That'd be interesting to see. Next up, I have Mecha Frieza, just because I feel like if they're doing more stuff with Trunks, they might cover that stuff. And they're kind of going back and filling in a lot of blanks they left in the first game. So Mecha Frieza is a part of that. He might be in the game. He might be a variation, but I don't really think so. After that, I have another hopeful one, which is Super Android 13. I don't know about regular Android 13, but I really hope for Super Android 13. I understand that Android 15 and 14 are not really confirmed yet. Do they necessarily have to be in the game to make him go Super 13? Can they just put in Super 13 just for the hell of it, or just have him in the story mode? I don't know. We don't really need 14 and 15, do we? Like, seriously, but I'm hoping for Super 13. I think it's not an unrealistic expectation. Next up, we have Nail. There's already been scans. Actually, this morning, the day I'm recording, there's been scans of Nail in the game. As well as in the last trailer, we saw someone that looked like Nail. So Nail's probably going to be a playable character. After that, I have Buhan. Now, Dino's mentioned that Hirano has said that Super Boo's forms will not be in the game. Actually, what he says, Super Boo and his forms will not be in the game, but I mean, Super Boo has to be, right? He's not in the character roster list under Fat Boo, but the locked space is under him. In Xenoverse 1, it was Fat Boo, then Super Boo was under him, and then Kid Boo was under him. That's how it worked in Xenoverse 1. So if Boo is in the game, Super Boo, which he should be, and even though Super Buhan was said not to be in the game, Dino also mentioned that. Hirano said Giants won't be in the game, but we already got Giant Namekians, but I'm just regurgitating what Dino said, but, you know, the man said it, so I'm going to tell you. So, Super Buhan. Will he be here? I'm hoping for it. It could make some interesting story elements, but at the same time, if you look at the roster, I mean, it's going to be hard to fit him in there. He's going to have to go in between, like, Janemba and stuff, so they'd have to do Super Boo with, like, Buhan under him and then put Kid Boo after. Something like that. So you gotta place them realistically where they'd fit in the character roster. You can't just put them off to the side if they're related to a character. It just doesn't make any sense if it's like a transformed form of a character. Like Imperfect Cell, the Perfect Cell. There's no space in between Imperfect Cell and Perfect Cell to put second form Cell. It just doesn't work. He's not going to be in the game, in my opinion. And not only that, there's also was promotional stuff where they're like, oh, you have to stop Imperfect Cell from absorbing 18 and 17 at the same time. Like, yeah, he's probably going to skip right to his perfect form, I imagine. So, after that, I'm hoping we get Dabura. I think that's an important character. Not only is it Toa's brother, but Dabura's badass. Come on, guys. He needs to be in the game. Hell, maybe they'll save it for 3. They got to save some stuff for Xenoverse 3, right? Which will come out in quite a few years. They're going to wait a little bit longer on that one from what I've heard. After that, I'm hoping for Super Mira and Darkness Toa. These two characters are the power-up forms of Toa and Mira, respectively, from Dragon Ball Heroes, which are made by Dims, who also make this game. So it's not unreasonable to think they'll be in the game. And furthermore, will we see any Dragon Ball Hero characters in the game? I've talked about it before, like Super Saiyan 3 Future Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Teen Gohan. Probably not them. I'd like to see those kind of characters in the game, but it's not really something I intentionally expect. But in terms of Mira and Toa's powered up forms, it's really iffy. I really have a good feeling about Super Mira. Maybe not Darkness Toa, but hell, they could save both of those guys for the big villains in the third game. I don't know, because even though the third game is going to take a little longer to come out than this one did, it's still going to happen. I got a good feeling about it. Those are kind of my 11. I also have Dr. Gero and Android 19 on there. They're definitely able to be in there. And maybe the early Teen Trunks that saw Gohan die. Like, he's in a cutscene, like those CG cutscenes. But I don't think he's going to be a playable character. But Dr. Gero and 19, definitely possible. Maybe they'll have the base form of Super 13. Maybe they'll have Androids 15 and 14. There's like 3 extra slots right there. So you gotta think about all like the different transformations people are gonna have and other things like that. So honestly though, from what we have, I'm insanely satisfied with the roster. They have all the big movie villains aside from really Super 13. Like, yeah, they don't have Dr. Wheelo, but no one really gives a crap about him. Well, they might, but he's not gonna be like a human-sized enemy to play as anyways. Hirudegarn's not really here right now. I don't see Tapion, and I don't really think Tapion's going to be in the game. That's just my personal opinion. I have no real factual evidence of that. I just got that feeling. But, aside from that, this is my list down here. I'll put it on screen for you. But other than that, really, that's about it. Let me know your lists down below. You can even throw in a couple extras because there could be more than, like, you know, the 84, 85 slots that we have. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say. Dragon Ball Super characters are not going to be in the game at the start, aside from Goku Black and Future Trunks from Dragon Ball Super with the blue hair. Now, Okay, now is he going to be a character on his own, or is he going to be a variation? I don't really know. Again, the villainous characters are probably just going to be variations like they were in the first game. I doubt they'll make them separate characters. That ain't really surprising anyone. But other than that, I think that's a pretty good list of characters right there. Maybe they'll completely surprise us or completely BS with us. I don't really know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Share your thoughts down below and your lists. Do you agree with mine? Do you disagree with any of my choices? Let me know down below. Other than that, thanks for watching. And of course, I'll catch you later.